So it also, I just want to say, going back to some of my earlier work in global development and different cultures, for the last 25 plus years, I've been trying to pay really good attention and take really good notes around how humans react and respond and ultimately navigate change. And I've done that. For me, my real, I guess one of my unique features is that I have had a very global career. So I've worked, traveled in more than 100 countries. Wow. And I've been looking at how different cultures approach the unknown. And I bring all this up because I've been noticing patterns that show up. And one of the patterns that led me to this mindset is exactly what we've been talking about. In modern society, we focus so much on, in the business world, certainly, change management. And like there's a change and I'm going to have my framework or my flow chart or my 6-point checklist. And you're going to give me this change and I'm going to put it into my framework. And at the end of these 6 steps, this change will be managed, solved, done. We can check it off our list and move on. And I did this again. I saw these systems, these change management systems in companies, in governments, in nonprofits, in all different kinds of markets and sizes and all of that. And I want to be clear, like, these are helpful tools. I am not saying that change management is bad or flawed. No, it's a helpful tool. However, it doesn't acknowledge or work like the world that we live in works.
100%.
And so I started getting really frustrated. I was having these conversations. I would be like advising a startup and advising a government that wanted to work together, but there was massive tension and friction because they had very different views of change. They had different views on the pace of change, the value of change, how change should look and feel and be managed and all the rest. And what I realized was that change management is useful, but it's completely incomplete for the world we live in today because it eliminates the human experience of change. And that is all about your mindset. That is all about how do you feel about change? How are you showing up for it? How are you seeing it? And I kept pulling on that thread for a long, long time. And that ultimately led me to develop not just the concept, but the actual, like, how do you build and groove and strengthen a flux mindset?
It's really good. You mentioned governments there, and that's a lot of my work. I absolutely adore working with governments. It aligns to my purpose, aligns to the work that I do with the podcast and the network. From your perspective and your experience, when you're working and you're advising governments, what does the future of government look like in terms of being able to evolve and adapt based on ever-growing needs of society?
Gosh, the future of government, that is $1 trillion, euro, whatever.
I want it in 50 words or less, only joking. But it is a huge question. But
I just want to back up and say, like, in fact, I love that we share this love, this commitment to government, to public sector, to public service work, and like really serving humanity, serving communities, serving people and places. Like, that's why I went to law school. I didn't want to necessarily be a lawyer. I was really interested in public policy. And then that evolved into public policy around things like innovation and disruptive innovation, which is code speak also for change. And so I've really been peeling back the layers of this onion to get to Flux.